Alright guys, we're back with Ekop and his glasses he's very fond of. Tells everyone that he loves Hearthstone, but also hides his very pretty eyes that he likes to show everybody when something happens.
You want to look into my eyes?
No, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Come on, who wouldn't fall in love with those eyes?
Most people. Just about everyone, I think.
No, come on. They're beautiful.
Alright.
Did you actually know my eyes have two different colors?
No.
No?
No, they're the same.
I mean, it's the same color technically, but one is lighter and one is darker.
Yeah, well, that's not technically a different color.
One has more brown in it as well.
Okay. Alright, we'll give you that. Anyway, so you're here. You're playing Reynad later.
Yeah.
You like it here?
It's alright.
You like Reynad?
No. Unfortunately not.
Okay. I heard you actually haven't done very well against Reynad in the last few meetups. Is
That is
right?
correct. I mean, we faced off twice. It's been a long time coming since until I faced off, but it wasn't really public as it will be today.
Okay.
It was the first one was the European regional qualifier in the online stage. We faced off at round 4, I think. We were both 3-0, and then he beat me as handlock when I still had Hunter. I was like 2-1 in the lead, and then he turned it around as handlock against my Hunter as well. So that was kind of unfortunate. And then the second time we faced off was also not streamed. It was a Deck Wars qualifier for the remaining spots that were free for Deck Wars Season 2. So
well, if Entropy serves you well, you'll win this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Third time's a charm, I guess.
Yeah. You feel strong. I keep mentioning like the Gosu Gamers rankings because I don't know, it's just fun as someone who doesn't really pay attention too much to the scene to see who's the best.
Yeah.
You've been moving up in that quite a bit recently. You said you were like 5th. I thought you weren't quite 5th, but you said you were 5th.
I mean, I was 5th for a very long time back when Fight Night was up and all those tournaments like. Well,
yeah, but I was like number 1 in there.
The early invitationals and stuff like that. I was never number 1, but I was always in the top 5. I was like 4th, 5th, 6th sometimes, I guess. And recently I've just been going down because my tournament performances were not stellar, and
It's
other guys.
I mean, if you're 5th, you know, what are they, like 2 in Europe?
Yeah, I mean, people always say I never win any tournaments, but I mean, Gozo Gamer ranks show a different side, right?
Well, I think technically you can win a lot of games in tournaments and actually not win any tournaments and be number 1.
That's consistency.
Yeah. Is that where you stand?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day when I was playing WoW TCG, the predecessor of Hearthstone, I only won 1 major tournament, while other pro players managed to win like 6 or 7. And even though I only won like 1 major tournament, I top 8'd like every other tournament. So this is also how I became Player of the Year in one year. So
Was it the year you won one?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
But
there you go.
it just was just.
Oh, it was a coincidence.
It was a no. I mean, it was still like solid performance overall because in the same year other people won more than 1 tournament, for example.
Yeah. I may have screwed up my microphone by pulling on the cord.
Oh.
The setup here is a little bit taped and stuff, so
Yeah,
hopefully
I
they
see
can
that.
still hear me. So what do you think of this tournament? You feeling good against Reynad Kungan and Hunter Ming?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I do. I do feel that all those players in terms of skill level are beneath me.
Beneath you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot really speak for Hunter Ming because I've never seen him play, but I just assume that all the Chinese players are worse than EU or NA.
Okay.
Because, I mean, have you seen that match between, what were those guys, Icy Fox or?
I've seen a lot of misplays so far.
Who were the guys in the second match?
Lothar, in the second match it was Icy Foxy and Lebo.
Yeah, those guys. Like,
You weren't impressed with their play?
not really.
Not
No.
really? Okay.
Well, I mean, I cannot really speak for every Chinese player because I have no knowledge of them, but all the matches that I've seen so far from Chinese players or Korean players were filled with misplays.
Okay. Do you feel that's that big of a factor in the group stage? I feel like getting lucky with the double blind pick might be a bigger deal. especially considering like they might play differently, they might play, let's say, worse, but like the priest deck seemed super standard to me. So how much of that do you think has an impact on the overall results?
You definitely have to be a little bit lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe luck plays an even bigger factor than I imagine. I expect the luck to be a factor for sure, but
that's Hearthstone, it always is.
I mean, I don't know. I just want to play my best, and hopefully that's enough. Because other players are having the same odds with luck as well, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. That's true. How do you feel going up against really strange decks? Like, in general, it's a bad thing because, bad thing for the player with a strange deck because it's not usually considered a finely tuned deck. Decks that are outside the meta are usually ones that get crushed. But in this case, when they have like a separate meta, I don't think we've seen that too much. From what I recall, specifically the Chinese meta, in the first 2P tournament that I cast, the Chinese players were a little bit ahead in the Druid game. They were playing like the Watcher Druids ahead of everyone else, and they actually did very well because of that. Do you think there's much of that going on right now? Do you think there's much of a risk that you'll run into, just very new but effective stuff? Discounting Drainlock?
I'm pretty sure that the Chinese meta is behind the meta, but sometimes that is actually the same thing as being ahead of the meta, because sometimes it just comes full circle, and old stuff becomes good again. So I would technically I would say they are behind the meta, or they have their own meta. So it's either one of those two things, but not that they're ahead necessarily. No.
All right. Well, I wanna ask you because no one's given the answer yet except Amaz, who apparently is gonna leave with $96,000. How much are you leaving with? What's your expectation?
Honestly, I'm just happy to survive the group stage, and everything else is additional bonus. I'm pretty sure Amaz will not make it.
Okay.
Amaz tournament performances have been really bad recently, so I'm seeing this trend continue. To be honest.
Okay.
Sorry, Amaz.
You think you're more likely to qualify from your group than he is out of his?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, have you seen Amaz's group? It's stacked.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure those guys prepared a lot more than Amaz did.
If Amaz wins $96,000 like he's going to, he has to qualify out of his group first. So
I'm just gonna make the bold prediction and say Amaz is gonna finish last in his group. Go 0-3.
0-3.
Yeah. That's my prediction.
You can finish last and be 1-2, I believe.
That's true.
You don't think that's the case?
As long as he finishes last, I'm fine.
Okay, so 1-2 is acceptable.
It's okay, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how he does. I don't think he has any matches today, but tomorrow is the onslaught, and we'll see the end result in no time then. All right. Well, we're going to talk to Gnimsh here shortly. I believe we're going to get into the game, and Gnimsh is going to cast as it happens, and because the time is kind of whatever, we'll try to make it work with him. But thanks for being on. You definitely seem pretty confident, and honestly, I think you will do pretty well. As far as your group is concerned, I think if you get out of that, you'll be doing pretty well.
Yeah, I definitely will, because after the group stage, there will be a ban system, and I thrive from that. That's for sure.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens then, and we'll have Gnimsh up shortly.
Shout out to Salt Boys.
All right, guys, we're back. We got Gnimsh here. We just talked about the tournament. He doesn't have to play any games today and doesn't know anything until tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just totally chilling, guys, so having fun in here.
Yeah. So, as it turns out, the tournament, I think so far is pretty cool. I find tournaments that involve international players, like Chinese international players, a little bit more interesting, just because the expectation for surprises is higher, as we saw with the Drain Lock and some other kind of stuff.
Yeah, like Sea Giants and Shaman.
I mean, ultimately, the tournament is going to be decided by the combination of the best and luckiest player.
Yeah.
So at the end of the tournament, you see the good play anyway. But as you grind through the ranks,
go through it. Stuff.
It's, for me at least, it's fun to see a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing to see like the clash of cultures, because Europe, United States, and Asia, it's like a pretty different. Like the metagame is different. People use different cards because you want to adjust to like beat your server, not like beat the general population. So the Chinese server is pretty different, and they're just. I heard that they love their Zoo decks. So maybe versus Zoo decks, that Draenei is actually a card you play, and we also don't know, like we don't have that much information about these players. Like we know some of them. Some of them have really like a lot of achievements, like high scores and stuff. But some of the players are a mystery. Like even when I was talking to the players here, like the European guys, the American guys, they're like, okay, I know I have those Chinese players in my group, but they are a mystery to me. So some of them might be like the ladder champions, like our like hyped Firebats, Kolento, and Nyria. But some of them can be just like somebody who just won a random tournament and they are here because they were good, but maybe they are not playing Hearthstone that much.
Well, you said that the American meta is different from the European meta. I was actually under the impression that isn't the case. What differences have you seen?
I feel like it's slightly different. It's like it's really similar because we have access to all the information on the net. So like people just net deck and like use the same things. But I feel like NA is a bit more aggressive, like because in the United States, like a lot of people, like everybody speaks English. So you just go to the sites and you check what's best. And people take like aggro decks because they love it. And it is the easiest decks to grind to Legend. And in Europe, there is the language barrier. Some of the people, they don't have access to the English sites, so they create their own local meta games in the local countries. So I feel like the European one is a bit more control-based. Like,
what do you think about the Ukrainian meta game?
Man, it's like with Kolento and Nyria, those guys are just crazy.
Yeah,
it's tough to say.
We had intended to have Kolento for this tournament. We talked to him about it, and he was interested in coming. But as it turns out, the Chinese are not convinced that he will want to go back to Ukraine, so they don't.
That's
let him
possible.
come.
Well,
yeah,
we are here in Yinchuan. Like this is the name of the city, right?
I mean, we have to ask like a Maz or something, but
okay.
As far as I know, yeah.
I might be butchering it, but basically the city seems kind of rich. So there's like a lot of buildings, and
from my understanding, and I think I voiced it a bit. Maybe you didn't get it, but there's a very large Muslim population here, and they tried to have a very good place for them to live, so they wouldn't feel that they're different from the rest of China, so they wouldn't like try to do some form of separation. So
escape to Ukraine, maybe?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, they are building those huge buildings here because they estimated that people will be coming here, like flooding the city. But as a matter of fact, they are not doing it. So there's a lot of deserted buildings actually.
I don't think they're deserted because most of them are new. I was told that the occupancy rate for the apartments, I mean, in general, when you talk about population, say like house and all that, everything is apartments here, is about 60%. And, China does have a problem with occupancy in some areas, but I don't think this really qualifies as one. I think they're just trying to push rapid expansion.
Okay.
And from what I've seen, comparing the city to, the other one that I've been in Beijing, I think this is a nicer place to live. So I think in terms of their goals and growth, I think they're maybe realistic. I mean, I don't know.
I certainly agree. So, like, do you agree with the Ukrainian government then, like, that they stopped Kolento from coming?
Yeah, I don't know. The whole visa thing was a mess. Maybe you guys don't know, but I actually heard that 2 Philippine players that went through the first stage of the qualifiers for the BlizzCon tournament.
Yeah, for the New York.
One of them was actually in first place. The second was in third.
Yeah.
They were not able to get visas to the United States.
Twice. Yeah. Like they applied for the first time and they got rejected because they were afraid that they will not come back to the Philippines. And then Blizzard actually like made a move and helped them. Like they just called
looks
them.
Like we are getting in a game here.
Oh my god, this is